Hi Capricorns, welcome to your September 2017 readings. Hopefully everybody's doing okay. So the monthlies are done a bit differently than the mid-months. I do that for myself. It's due to energies. The mid-months take more energy out of me. And it's a different form of energy that I'm reading when I do it. It's a little weird, but... and I prefer, with the monthlies, I cover work, home and relationships. Relationships come in all forms. So keep that in mind. They come in the forms of partnerships, coworkers, family members, children. So you're going to have to keep that in mind, right? I prefer doing the monthlies like this because if there's a root issue, it tends to show up through this type of reading for me. So I pull 3 cards out for each section. And I use my Virgo rising to try to see, to feel out the energies and try to see the pattern. Try to bring a little bit of objective thinking to it. I do try. We're in Virgo season right now, so I'm a little slower moving, people, so be patient with me. Trying to get very grounded here. So I'm just waiting for the energies to get interrupted to see what we got for you guys. Capricorns, you should be feeling pretty grounded right now, too, with the Virgo energies. Excuse my speech, we do have Mercury retrograde still happening. So words tend to come out backwards. I have sentences in my head, but they just don't come out properly. It's really weird. Okay, so we got a flyer. Okay, so for the first card we have is the Knave of Wands. The second card we have is the Queen of Pentacles. We have the Empress. We have the Eight of Swords. We have the Hermit. This is Virgo. So this season has some importance to you guys right now, okay? And I feel like what's coming through energy-wise so far is Capricorns. Communication is a really big importance to you guys in evaluating your communication. There definitely needs to be a little bit of a change in it. It's coming through, and your communication needs to be more grounded. So that means, like, if there's practical problems, you need to speak about that. That's what's coming through here, is that the lack of communication in relationships, okay? Any problems you're having in relationships, keep this in mind. It comes in all forms, right? It seems to be due to practical communication. So it's about practical issues, which are the most common issues. You seem to be keeping that within, and that is what the cards are saying, is that communication needs to change. You need to start dealing with those practical issues, and you really have to, with the Virgo card here, okay, you really have to see things for what they are, facts. Objectively, you got to look at things, okay? So take your time in these manners and try to figure out another way of approaching it, all right? With the Empress and the Queen of Pentacles, this means, like, you got to really nurture yourself and those around you, right? It's the mother. So your mother, your grandmother, or your wife could really have some importance to you guys right now. But it's like I was saying with the communication, okay, because with the Empress and the Queen of Pentacles, right, she doesn't tolerate certain things. She's like the mother, right? Like, a mother will say no when it needs to be said. You know what I mean? And she'll explain reasoning for it. You know, it's not just saying no; it's having reasoning for it, and it's like you need to deal with the practical issues, okay? Because they're piling up and it's keeping you trapped, is what I'm getting. Okay? And you're like reflecting on it. but there needs to be action taken, okay? Like, let's pull the rest of the cards. We have the Fool. We have Strength. We have the Ace of Cups. And we have the Three of Swords coming in at home. All right, you guys. And we have the World card underneath. Always reminds me of that movie. I think it's called Mona. Okay. I do feel like communication is an issue, you guys. Okay, this could be the like the communication is like self-doubt even, or negative self-talk I'm getting. Okay, and this is keeping you trapped, and you're turning a blind eye to it. All right, like and it's like, okay, you're your own worst enemy at this point is what the cards are saying, and you really need to reflect on it. Okay, because I feel like you guys have abundant opportunities here, but you're not valuing yourself appropriately. So this means, like, okay, the cards are saying you have great knowledge and wisdom. All right, like okay, for some of you guys, I'm getting that you are applying for positions that you're overqualified for, and it's almost like a refusal to accept the fact that, okay, like for some of you, I feel like it's now time for you to be using your wisdom and knowledge. So this means, like, what I'm getting is applying for superior positions, so like manager positions, you know, like the head honcho. Like you guys are applying for much lower positions than your value. Okay, and Capricorns, you guys are highly wise. You know how to do things. All right. This is talking about really applying a new way of thinking, a new mindset, and a new belief system about yourselves is what I'm getting. Okay, because I feel like things that are happening is self-sabotaging right now, and it's due to a mindset. Okay, you can see in this card, the guy is like hanging, and he's trapped here. He's not. He's looking away. This guy's got six. Well, how many swords does he have? He's got 8 swords, right? Like, so it's almost like, okay, Capricorns, I'm getting, you already know what the problem is, yet you're refusing to accept it. Okay, so there's like some pride and ego getting in the way. Okay, because we have the Strength card here, and we have the Knave of Wands. Okay, so I don't know, it could be with a child, it could be with a spouse. Okay, there's some sort of behavior that's becoming toxic, and it needs to change, and somebody needs to swallow their pride because they're acting childish is what I'm getting. Okay, so it's like taking responsibility for things, but you need to watch the way that you communicate it. It's also talking about taking responsibility for like any toxic behaviors that you're allowing, right? Like, because this is talking strength is I am, right? So what are you allowing, right? Because it's not anybody else allowing it, it's you allowing it, right? And with the Mother card here, okay, like I'm getting the energy of the Mother card, right? It's like the mother will not allow certain things, certain behaviors, right? She like disciplines them, right? Like there's a certain thing that can't go on, and you really have to, like, you got to be compassionate and nurturing towards it. Like you really need to understand it. Where's it coming from? Where's it stemming from? And for some of you guys, this is talking about childhood. Your father could have been a very an aggressive with the speech, and you've picked up this habit. Okay, or one of your parents were very passive aggressive, and you've picked up this habit. So it's talking about, like, what I'm getting with, you got the World underneath. It's like and the Three of Swords, it's through what no longer serves you, right? Like, and I mean, it's painful. Okay, the Three of Swords is like self-realization too, right? Like, I mean, we all have toxic behaviors within ourselves or things that we do. Nobody's perfect. Okay, no such thing as normal. Okay, that's an illusion. And we're living in reality here. Okay, reality is uh, there's some sort of behavior that needs to stop, and you need to take a new beginning on it, a leap of faith, right? It's not the end of the world if you have to swallow your pride, you know, like. Yeah, because if your communication is too aggressive, this is what will hurt you at work, okay? And it's what's hurting you at home. Like I was saying in the beginning, everything is interconnected. You know what I mean? Like, but for here, like there's a sense here of communication coming off naive and too strong, okay? Leo is coming through, and Leo, the eclipse in Leo could have had some really um, powerful impact on you in some manner. It's made you see things a little bit differently, or but you're you're kind of quieting down, Capricorn. Okay, and here's the thing with Capricorns, I've said before, you guys are kind of like the Greek gods, you know what I mean? But when a Capricorn gets really quiet, okay, like and if they're angry and you guys repress that, you turn into the Titans. Like, you know, where you need to let the okay, with these two cards, okay, they're water. Like, you need to let emotion flow, okay? It's not flowing, it's going to build up, you know, like, and then it's going to burst over the dam, you know, like. But at work, what it's saying, it's okay, Capricorns, you're great teachers, okay? And I feel like some of you guys, that's what, like, the universe is pushing you more towards, like, teaching, okay? So in any aspect of a position that or what you're doing at work, you need to be applying more teaching, okay? You might be having problems because you're like, you're acting as if you're still a student when you're the teacher, okay? There's things that you need to be teaching other people, and nurturing them, okay? Capricorns have great patience. They're very understanding, and they understand mistakes happen, and they don't blame people for the mistake. They look for the actual error to correct it, ensure it doesn't happen again, okay? So that's what the cards are kind of suggesting, that needs to happen, Capricorn. And for some of you guys, this is talking about, okay, you're manifesting negativity because that's what you're thinking. You got to change it, okay? You got to see things from a different perspective, kind of. But your emotions could be very toxic if they're not being allowed to come out or flow, if you're not practically handling them. So, I mean, this is also talking about picking up kickboxing or boxing, some sort of thing where you can get rid of your aggression, okay? Because some of you have built up anger or aggression. It's talking about releasing that. You have to release it, Capricorn. There's something you have to separate yourself from. Some of you guys, it could be a divorce, okay? But I'm getting teacher. You guys are more teachers, okay? So when I was saying that you're more patient, it's like you need to be in those higher positions, especially Saturn's moving into Capricorn soon too. It's like a lot of work environments and stuff like that, okay, can be quite toxic. Because things aren't handled correctly in those environments. People don't actually see the problem. You know what I mean? A Capricorn can pinpoint that. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of companies where there's like bullying and stuff like that happening, and harassment, and you know, people trying to one up each other or getting things past each other. Capricorns have the ability to see past all of that. All right, like, and in a lot of companies, there's people could develop PTS from situations that have occurred in companies. Okay, like Capricorns, you're being put in a teaching position because you can see through past all of this. Right? It's almost like the universe wants you to be in a higher up position, to nurture other people. You have a nurturing capability. It's just in a different manner than everybody else. You're very patient. You know, like, I'm very blessed to have a Capricorn father. I don't honestly think anybody else could handle the energies that I was given. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a fast thinker, fast talker, and I'm a little out there. And my having a Capricorn father, you know, I'm sure he thinks I'm insane some of the time, but uh, you know, he grounds me. You know, and he's very comforting. He's never made he's always encouraged me to wonder, you know what I mean? And Capricorns allow you to ask questions. I feel like like the cards are basically saying that you need to reevaluate your communication, and it could be either with other people. It's going to go two ways for some of you guys. It's either with other people or it's with yourself. Okay, and it's like really putting yourself out there, Capricorn, and taking chances. Okay, you have the Fool card here. Okay, uh, no pity parties. Okay, no self doubt. It's almost like Capricorn. Instead of like when you have a decision in your mind, you got to do it instead of like sitting here and like with the 8 swords wondering what could go wrong. Like you got to do it in that, like in 5 seconds, like just act on it. Okay, there's something that you've sat on, you already know, you already have the knowledge and the wisdom. You need to act on it now. Okay, like not acting seems to be like it's becoming toxic to you, whatever it is. And you're really gonna have to have a lot of strength and courage to cut through whatever it is, or to change whatever it is being asked of you to change. Your work looks really good though. Okay, you have the Hermit, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Ace of Cups. So what it's saying is to be creative. Okay, to let your emotions flow. It's artists. The Ace of Cups to me is like an artist. Okay, and art comes in all forms. Whether you're a welder, you can make scrap metal art. Some people are interior decorators. That's the way that they creatively express themselves. Um, there's some sort of way that you have some sort of, you need to get a little more your creativity, and you need to practically apply it, and not no self-doubt, Capricorn. Okay, because like the cards are saying, that's hurting you, but you have all the knowledge and wisdom and the practicality, okay, behind you. What you need is your creativity. Okay, and you need to get emotionally excited. So if something emotionally excites you, you need to evaluate why that excites you and then push forward on it. Okay, the Three of Swords could be a child moving at home. Okay, but I feel like the Three of Swords it's like talking about separation. So this is talking about for those of you that are married, uh, or you have children, and what's separating everybody is communication. It's kind of like everybody's separate in the house. Okay, so it's kind of like when people are getting upset, they're not expressing it, and it's silent treatments happening, is what it seems like. Some of you guys, this is a child starting a new beginning, and you're a little scared. It's interesting because Capricorns I see as like what was that cartoon movie? Um, Came out around Halloween time. it's like Dracula, but he has a daughter. It's a funny cartoon movie, and like I can't remember the name of it, but I think there's two of them now, and the daughter zings. They call it a zing with another man. Or with a boy, right? And the father Dracula is so protective over the daughter, like, and that's kind of how I see Capricorn parents, right? It's not like, uh, so it's like you for one, okay, one of your children is kind of like, tough love you're giving them, or you got to give them, or you got to let go of them. That's what it's saying, like, you got, okay, if it's your child, it's saying your child's going to be fine, okay, but you got to deal with the emotions of it. It's saying it's dealing with the emotions, right? Like maybe you got a child getting married, okay, and you're dealing with the emotions of that, okay. You got to deal with the emotions. Or maybe as a parent, this could be vice versa too, right? Because things happen in both ways. Maybe you're a child, you could be in your 30s or 40s, or 20s, but you're starting to see that, like you need to take care of your parents. You're seeing things differently now, and that's kind of causing a little bit of heartbreak for you. Okay. Some of you guys that you're in your 20s or 30s, you need to get in touch with your parents a little more, okay? They could be going through some things and they just need some family attention, it's saying. Some bonding time. I'm getting bonding time with your family members. Starting projects with them even, new creative ideas even with them. So for you gentlemen, it's talking about like car projects with your dad, even if your dad's 60 or whatever. You know, it's a reason to see him and something to do, like once a month or something, you arrange it. Or you help your grandparents even with gardening, you know? Communication seems to be an issue though at home. And you have to, it's like starting over again. It's saying that's what needs to happen at home. So it's like forgiving and forgetting. Well, not forgetting, but it's forgiveness is needed if that's towards self or towards the other person. You could be getting a lot of communication in that could be like um, getting you off balance. Okay, at work, stay focused because you guys are on the right path. But what it's saying is you might have some people that are naive and childish with their communication, and don't let it offset you. Okay, you have to have courage to move past it. But self doubt, Capricorn, it's saying that you need to cut that out. All right. All right, you guys. Hopefully that helped you out, and I will talk to you mid-month. Ciao for now. Namaste.